Stress. Our first enemy. Unfurl your flow. AI stress reduction plus power matrix. What if your first enemy is not your boss, not your calendar, not even your market, but the invisible pressure inside you called stress? And what if, when you learn to work with it, it becomes your fastest path to clarity, creativity, and power? In the next 15 minutes, I'll give you a practical map. Why stress hijacks you, the science-backed tools to stop it instantly, the ritual that turns pressure into performance, and 3 AI hacks you can use tonight to protect your focus. If you use one idea here, your week will change. If you use 3, your life will. Stay with me. 1. The daily grind and amp. Our brains burden, we see traffic, we think inbox, we inhale blue light. Think of hospital chart. Courtroom of headlines. Stress is the currency of our modern world. It hums behind the notifications, sits heavy in our chest on Monday mornings, shortens our nights, and blurs our decisions. But let me be clear, stress is not just bad feeling. Biologically, it is a survival engine designed to mobilize us. The problem is chronic activation. The alarm that should ring and then rest stays on. That's the damage. Chronic stress narrows attention, erodes memory centers, and eats at our immune system. It's why leaders make brittle choices under pressure. It's why creative people lose flow. And here is the good news. The stress response is built of mechanics we can learn to control. 2. The science simplified. How stress works. Think of stress as a two-pronged engine. Fast branch, adrenaline, immediate alertness, blood to muscles, tunnel vision. Slow branch, cortisol, longer-term energy shunting, immune suppression, memory effects. The right dose sharpen, the wrong dose blunts. There's a curve, Yerkes-Dodson, where a little arousal helps performance, too much ruins it. We want the edge, not the cliff. Neuroscience tells us the body and brain are wired with switches we can press: breath patterns, gaze, movement, social contact. Huberman calls these objective levers. They work in seconds. 3. Immediate tools. Stop the hijack. Tool 1. The physiological sigh. 2 small inhales, long slow exhale. Do it twice. In 30 seconds, your heart rate drops and clarity returns. This is not mystical, it is physiology. You can use it in a meeting, before a speech, mid-argument. Tool 2. Dilate your gaze. When stressed, we narrow vision. So deliberately widen your sight line for 60 seconds. Look beyond the screen. Soften the eyes. It calms brainstem circuits. Tool 3. Micro-cold exposure. If you are cleared for it, a 30-second cold shower or a brisk splash raises adrenaline, but teaches your system to recover. It's stress inoculation, not punishment. Quick safety note. If you have heart conditions or other concerns, consult a clinician before cold or intense breath work. 4. Stories. How the stars learned to carry stress. Look to people who turned pressure into power. Oprah, fired early in her career, she used public vulnerability as craft. Her stress became narrative. She turned wounds into empathy and then into influence. That's EEQ, emotional ethical intelligence, turning personal pressure into social trust. Steve Jobs, he lived in deliberate scarcity, slept on floors, took classes that scared him. That discomfort seeded design intuition. He used strategic constraint to sharpen aesthetic judgment, an SSQ move, stewarding culture through product. Elon Musk, he survived near bankruptcy and production collapses. Those were stress tests for systems. He learned which processes failed and rebuilt them. That's SSQ engineering. Design resilient systems that survive stress. Beyoncé, she schedules rest, vocal therapy, and micro-rituals amidst a relentless tour life. She treats the body as the instrument and calibrates load and recovery. Elite artists know stress is training. They periodize it. And my life. After cancer surgeries and long hospital corridors, I learned the same algebra. There is the day for courage and the night for repair. I turned the fear into practice, rigid rituals, small predictable routines, and a council of 2 friends who would call me back to center when I drifted. 5. The Power Matrix. EEQ plus SSQ plus AIQ. We treat stress with one hand on the person and one on the system. That is our power matrix. EEQ, emotional ethical intelligence. Learn to name, hold, and communicate pressure. Vulnerability is the engine of trust. Trust is the buffer against collapse. SSQ, sustainable social intelligence. Design your calendar, teams, and culture to share load. Rotate hard duties. Build repair windows. Make recovery a priority, structurally. AIQ, human IQ empowered by AI. Use AI to remove friction. Automate low-value pulls on your attention. Get microfeedback. Simulate hard conversations. AI can spare your bandwidth, so human stress is reserved for creative and moral work. 6. AI stress reduction hacks. AI journaling, calendar assistant. Breathing app. AI isn't only distraction. When designed deliberately, it reduces stress. Hack 1. AI microjournal. Use an AI coach to transcribe a 3-minute voice check-in and return 3 distilled reflections and 1 action. Do this nightly. The algorithm externalizes cognitive load and gives structured reflection, EEQ. Hack 2. Attention triage assistant. An AI calendar agent that auto-categorizes meetings by cognitive load and recommends blocks for focus, blocks for repair, and urgent patches. This enforces SSQ. The environment shapes behavior. Hack 3. Simulation sandbox. Use an AI to role-play difficult conversations, raise voice, test objections. You'll desensitize to the social stressor and rehearse responses. That's stress inoculation with safety. But the paradox: use AI to step away from AI. Schedule digital Sabbaths with Ari's help. Have your assistant auto-reply that you're offline for 3 hours, route emergencies to a human, and let your nervous system recover. Strategic disconnection is an AI-enabled luxury. 7. Rituals and AMP, rhythms. Design your stress mechanics. Do not mistake will for system. Systems beat grit. Here is the daily rhythm I teach executives. Morning anchor, 30 to 60 minutes light exposure. Physiological size 1-2x. Priority block, protect it. Midday calibration, 20 minutes brief walk. AI microjournal, single healthy meal. Afternoon zone, 60 to 90 minutes deep work window, no meetings. Evening descent, 60 minutes device curfew, reflective ledger, 2 wins, 1 learning, social repair. Weekly, 90-day edge block, then 21 days of active recovery. Rotate hard roles in your team. This is SSQ turned into calendar design. 8. The ethics of stress. Don't weaponize it. A note of ethics. Encouraging stress without safety is cruelty. Not everyone's context lets them fail and rebound. Women and minority leaders often pay a higher price for visible mistakes. So EEQ must lead SSQ. You build trust, psychological safety, and fair feedback loops before asking people to bear heavy load. Measure impact. Track sleep quality, sick days, attrition. If your edge policies spike harm, you failed the test. Alchemy is responsibility.